But I can't help but think, Mr. Speaker, I can't help but think, beyond the uncertainty of the Wood Island's Pictou Ferry run, I can't help but think of the damage this Conservative government has done in my province. In fact, the very first act of the Prime Minister in 2006 was to cancel a fully federally funded energy cable to New Brunswick, which would have given us energy security. In our seasonal industries of agriculture, fishing and tourism, the changes to EI alone take $16.5 million out of our economy, right out of workers' pockets. In agriculture specifically, this government has cut Agri-Invest by a third. They've cut agri-stability and they've undermined the safety net for farmers, not only in Prince Edward Island but right across Canada. They've cut the researchers at the Agriculture Research Station. You know, and the temporary foreign workers changes they have made have impacted all three seasonal industries. Fish plants are without workers. Processing, especially in the beef processing sector, they're short of workers. That's affecting our economy. And in the tourist sector, tourist companies can no longer, or are finding it difficult to get foreign interpreters, and they're being understaffed as a result. Cutbacks to Canada summer jobs, which are affecting industry and students. GST visitors rebate, gone. Canadian tourism investments, gone. Canada Post, reduced. Literacy funding, cut. Environmental concerns, ignored. All those things impact my province, Mr. Speaker, beyond the Pictou Wood Islands Ferry. So how could you expect Prince Edward Islanders to trust this Conservative government? Beyond that, Mr. Speaker, federal government offices closed, immigration transferred out of the province, Canadian Coast Guard cut back, DVA reduced and jobs cut, DVA district office closed, ACOA funding cuts. And, Mr. Speaker, that's only a short list. So it's no wonder, Mr. Speaker, that Islanders don't trust this Conservative government when it comes to talking about the future for Wood Island Pictou ferries. We can't trust them. Short-term contracts, Mr. Speaker, are not enough. The operators of the ferries, the people and the business people in Prince Edward Island and Pictou County, Nova Scotia, need stability. This is not only an issue for PEI, it's also important, Mr. Speaker, for Nova Scotia. In fact, only a few days ago, the island's Evening News political panel commentator Paul McNeill remarked that, quote, "No one in eastern Prince Edward Island would be disappointed," and this is a quote, not from myself, Mr. Speaker, "no one in eastern Prince Edward Island would be disappointed to see the member for Central Nova leaving, as he has not been helpful in supporting, enhancing or modernizing the Northumberland ferries, which is an absolutely vital economic link for eastern PEI. Not only is it vital for eastern PEI, Mr. Speaker, it is vital for our entire province as well as Nova Scotia. It brings an estimated $27 million of economic benefits to the island every year, as well as $12 million to Nova Scotia. It's critical for the island's tourism, business and transportation sectors, as well as those same sectors in Nova Scotia. A document put together by the 4 Atlantic provinces called, quote, "Charting the Course, Atlantic Canada's Transportation Strategy 2008 to 2018, highlights that ferry service is integral to an economy of our Atlantic region. It lists Wood Islands and Caribou as a strategic marine ports and service centre for cargo and passenger movements. With that, Mr. Speaker, you can number one, see the lack of trust for this government, that we must have a 5-year contract. That's what the member of Cardigan is calling for. That's what my colleague from Charlottetown as well called for. I would ask members in this House to support the member for Cardigan in this motion, because if there's good economic activity in Atlantic Canada between Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island, it also rolls into a benefit for all of Canadians. So I ask for members' support for the motion from the member of Cardigan. Thank you very much.